Unless you are living under a rock, by now, that is the morning of April 3rd in India, you have at least heard of Trump's reciprocal tariffs, and you may also be seeing some interesting reactions on the stock markets as well. Some sectors are falling, some are rising purely on the positive sentiment that they have not yet come under the scanner of reciprocal tariffs. Some sectors surged despite coming under the tariff radar, and some tanked despite them not coming under the tariff radar. So, all in all, it's a very khichdi type of market today when I'm shooting this video, which is the morning of April 3rd. Anyways, these reciprocal tariffs are here for a good long term. So let us attempt to understand what is this reciprocal tariff, what does it mean, when will it come into effect, what are the three basic categories of reciprocal tariffs, and what is the reason behind imposing these tariffs now by the USA, and finally what repercussions will the USA and the world face on the basis of these tariffs. This is going to be a very short video but a very knowledgeable one, so stay with me till the end. Hello everyone and welcome to the Fintelligent Investor channel. I am CA Pratiksha Pai. We endeavor to give you straightforward and educative videos on personal finance to reach our vision of financial literacy being made available to all. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe to our channel to get complex finance news and topics broken down into simple tidbits for you. So let's begin. If you feel that my talking speed is slow, you can watch on a faster speed. The relevant timestamps are also given. If you want any personal finance or tax consultancy, feel free to mail us at fintel.investor@gmail.com. This email ID is also given in the description. So let's dive in. In India, we woke up to this news on April 3rd morning that Trump has unveiled a comprehensive set of tariffs which he termed as reciprocal tariffs on various countries all around the world, majorly those which impose higher tariffs on US goods within their own countries. However, what was expected was very different from what actually happened. It was expected that a universal uniform tariff would be imposed on everyone, but then it came as a surprise that Trump had mentioned different tariffs for each country, depending upon the tariff they imposed on US imports in their respective countries. So basically, for now, US has imposed reciprocal tariffs on each country at the rate of half of whatever tariffs such country imposes on USA. Like, say, if a country imposes 50% tariff on US imports within their country, then US has charged 25% tariff on such countries. You're getting it, right? So basically, it's like an eye for an eye kind of a thing. Like, you slap me one, I slap you one right back. The tariff, of course. So literally, Trump stood with a kind of a board in his hand where each country's name was written, and in the next column, what is the rate of tariff they are imposing on US, and the third column had the half of that rate as the tariff going to be imposed by USA on such country. Also, this whole exercise is being called as a Liberation Day. Before we go over to understand the meaning of reciprocal tariffs, I have one quick question to test your GK. We all know that Trump is the president of the USA. But do you know who is the vice president of the USA? If you know, type the name of the vice president of USA in the comments. Let's see how many of you know. Okay, so anyways, what is this reciprocal tariffs? See, basically USA is saying that certain countries are imposing very high tariffs on our goods, which we are exporting to their countries. Like, for example, you may know that when we purchase something which is imported, we pay a higher price for it. That is because we charge a tariff or tax on such goods. So now USA is saying that we are having this burden of higher tariffs from some nations, and now we too will impose similar tariffs on the goods that we import from them. So basically, Trump said if they tax us, we tax them the same or more. So basically, the logic put out is that there has to be a level playing field by matching or exceeding the trade barriers that other countries are placing on the American goods. So basically, this means, say, if India imposes 10% tariff on American goods, America will also charge 10% on Indian goods. If India charges 20% on them, they will also charge 20% on us, and so on. This is the basic meaning of reciprocal tariffs, the underlying context. See, just like how our PM Modi says India first, in the same way, Trump is saying America first. Of course, he will place the interests of his own country above everything else, right? Now, Trump is saying that since many years or since decades, America has been facing unfair trade practices by the foreign governments, and this has led to decades of trade deficits. So now, through the reciprocal tariffs, USA will try to create a level playing field. Also, since USA was not charging too much of tariffs, these goods imported into the USA from other countries were becoming a huge competition to the local American players. Now, with these tariffs, of course, the local US goods will comparatively be cheaper and will have more demand. And this means more manufacturing of these local products will happen within America and create more jobs in America and revive the American industry. In the past few years, the tariffs imposed by the US were lowering and had reached almost 5%. But now, today, Trump has come up with a big bang and started to impose reciprocal tariffs depending on what certain other country is charging on the US goods. Components of tariff policy. Now, see, even within the reciprocal tariffs, there are three components, or let's say three categories. In this, the first one, which is a universal one, is the baseline tariff. Now, this particular category says that all imports coming into the US from any country, from any origin, from any product type or any sector will now face a minimum tariff of 10%. So, any sector, any country, if you are exporting goods to the US, you will face 10% tariff at a blanket rate. That's it. This is for all. Even if you are charging 5% tariff on American goods, still you will face 10% tariff. So 10% is the minimum tariff from here onwards. The second category is the auto industry specific category. Within this, a 25% tariff has been imposed on all foreign made automobiles and parts, again, irrespective of the country of origin. So, say any car or bike or even any of its parts are imported, then a minimum of 25% tariff will be imposed on the same. So, what will happen? The rates of the imported automobiles in the US will see a rise. And again, local automobiles will look comparatively cheaper, and this will lead to more demand for locally produced automobiles. And when this happens, it will give a boost to the domestic car manufacturing and domestic manufacture of automobile components within USA. Basically, how we have a Make in India. Similarly, Trump is trying to boost Make in America and revive the automobile industry in the US. So the attempt is towards manufacturing and utilizing locally manufactured automobiles in the US rather than importing. Before going ahead, let me request you, if you feel our videos are knowledgeable, please hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon so that you get timely notifications of our future videos as well, which we will articulate in a very simple and easy language. The third component is country specific tariffs. This is where US is saying that specific to each country, what you charge is what you too will face in return. And while announcing this in the press meet, literally Trump had a huge card in his hand which showed the country names and how much they charge as tariffs on US goods, and in return, how much will USA charge to them. In this whole process, it was seen on the chart as well that for now, USA is charging each country exactly half of the tariffs that they are charging on USA. Like, for example, Vietnam is imposing 90% tariff on US goods, and in return, now USA will charge 46% on imports from Vietnam. Or say China, who is imposing a 67% tariff on American goods, and in return, America will now charge a tariff of 34% on Chinese exports. So Trump administration is giving out a message that, see, we are imposing only half of what you are imposing on us. Again, like European Union is charging 39% on US imports, and now US will charge them 20%, and so on. And now what's important for us in this is, where does India stand? So yes, India and PM Modi also had a special mention in Trump's announcement. He mentioned that Modi is a good friend, but tariff will still be applied. See, Trump is also an entrepreneur even before he became a president, okay? So he too believes that no business in sentiments and no sentiments in business. So even though he praised Modi, still the tariffs were imposed on India as well. It was put out that India charges 52% on US goods, and so a half rate, that is 26% tariff, will be imposed on imports from India as well. Here, the Indian side has come forward and told that we have never charged high tariffs on the US goods, at least as high as 52%. Maybe a few categories here and there, but the maximum goods and services fall under 10 to 15% category. And we need to now discuss and understand this stance of 52% and how it is arrived at. Of course, as of now, our diplomatic relations are also, I can say, at an all-time best, and definitely some solution may come out of it as well, maybe some sort of a negotiation or something. Till then, till some sort of a mid path or understanding is arrived at, we the Indians, or rather Indian exporters who export to US, will face a tariff of 26%. All this announcement done today will come into effect from 9th of April 2025. So it's not like it got announced today and implemented today. So 9th of April will also be an important day for stock markets as well. From all of this, it is evident that Trump is putting the interests of America first, naturally. His administration claims that this move of reciprocal tariffs will provide a stimulus to the American manufacturing industry and in process create millions of jobs. This will also help to reduce America's trade deficits, and once the economy and the job market is stabilized, of course, it will also help to protect the national security. However, the global reaction to this move also is not very subtle in many cases. Like the European Union called the move a protectionist measure and has vowed to retaliate with countermeasures, and has also warned that this move is violating the WTO rules. United Kingdom has also termed this move as having a fear of long-term economic impact on the transatlantic trade. Australia's Prime Minister has called the move illogical and unfriendly. India, as such, has not given any strong verbal reaction, but has said that we will re-evaluate our own tariff structure and also retaliate in IT and pharmaceutical trades. See, we tried to set right through talks and tried to kind of lower the impact on ourselves, and still we have been put a 26% tariff, and now we will have to try to establish some sort of a tariff negotiation, or maybe increase the tariff on US goods or something like that. Now see, what will happen because of this tariff rule is that suddenly everything will become costlier in the US. Like whatever the US was importing, everything will start to cost more. Automobile anyways is put in the 25% bracket, so the cars in the US will become super costly, with its cost going up at least 25%. Same with almost every item that is not locally produced. This can lead to a severe inflation, and ultimately a recession could happen. In fact, Goldman Sachs has raised the probability of a recession in the US to 35% from the existing 20% probability after this tariff move. And if the recession hits the US, of course, most of the other countries will also be impacted for sure. Also, the US economy is highly dependent on imports, and when the cost of imported goods goes up, obviously it impacts the economy as a whole, and the economy also sees a high rate of inflation. So basically, this is a small screener on what exactly is this reciprocal tariff and why is everyone so much rattled by it. Of course, because till now they were being charged a very less tariff of around just 5% ish, and now suddenly this is being increased to reciprocal rates. I hope this video was educative and useful to you. Please like the video if you felt that the content in the video was useful and helpful, as well as share it with your friends and family to spread the financial literacy. We will continue to come up with more such educative videos in personal finance. Till then, stay subscribed, stay connected. Thank you.